Hello, this is Fullerton Interfaith Emergency Service, and my name is Edwin.
I'm Alexa, and I'm Rosie. So we're just going to kind of go through everything we did, so go ahead, Caitlin.
Alright, this is one of the testimonies I wrote for FIES. I'm going to read it from the slide. Laura, a single mother of 2 children, worked for a nonprofit preschool, but when she was unexpectedly laid off and did not qualify for unemployment, her income became obsolete. Impossible for her to support her family. She came to the verge of losing her home and made the hardest phone call ever. Laura called her ex-husband and his wife and said, "My rent is due, I don't have the money, I'll have to give notice to my landlady, but I don't know where I'll go. Will you take the kids?" Luckily, Laura turned to FIES. With its help, she was not only able to keep the apartment, but most importantly, her children. And this is a real study from, a real person that was helped by FIES. Oh, the background? Okay, FIES was founded in 1975, and it pretty much works with northern Orange County, the Fullerton area. Its purpose is to provide transitional housing, emergency food, and support service to low-income or close-to-be homeless families in the community. The programs, there's the Food Distribution Center, there's a New Vista Transitional Living Center, Interfaith Shelter Network, Holiday Community Program, and Hope for the Homebound.
And Hope for the Homebound is actually one of their newer programs. Last time we met with her, she was saying that they've just begun it, so it's not on the website or anything yet, so they're still working on it.
And the situation analysis, FIES needs more donations, financial partners. Not known to the greater public. They're still kind of trying to get the word out since it is just locally. Not appealing to high-tech audience and needs to generate awareness.
And the high-tech audience with that is, when we did our initial consultation with Pam, she explained that there are 2 audiences that she wants to keep, which will probably be in the audience side, but I'll explain now anyways. The high-tech is the more computer literate group of adults, and the low-tech, she explained, is the audience that reads like the newspaper, things like that. So she wanted to establish a social media presence, which we actually had a lot of difficulty with, and it actually never happened because of major lack of communication within their office and her not being sensitive to the amount of time that we had. So, okay. So some of the strengths that we noticed within the organization, these are the same from our first presentation, but just to reconvey them, their message, cause, website, and programs are all really strong. As I kind of explained, like they're still building their programs, so it's something they're still working on. And they have a lot of opportunity. Social media, definitely, that still needs to happen. I don't know, is she going to continue on, Dr. Swanson?
Yes.
She is going to continue on?
We're going to try to.
Yeah, so that's something she really wants to focus on in the future semester. I think it was just that specifically. I don't know, because we did most of the print campaign stuff for 2012. But the opportunity we saw was improving print media, which we did, and features in local magazines. Their weaknesses, social media, and threats is any other nonprofit. I think OC 2211 was very similar to ours, kind of helping the less fortunate, so any nonprofit is a threat in that realm. And our goals were to just generate awareness in North Orange County, improve their social media, and reach their target publics, which was the high-tech audience, which proved to be a struggle. So, and our objectives, these were the ones that we had created with Pam. She did explain that they were a little far-reaching because this is something she eventually wants to achieve. So our campaign was more based on quality versus measurable outcomes. But she wanted to increase Facebook likes by 500 over a 6-month period. They already have their Facebook, but it's not very well maintained. Designed 2 print media campaigns for local newspapers and 2 magazine feature stories for 2012, which we did. So our key publics, we divided them up into 3 groups, which she mentioned before, which was the high-tech and low-tech. High-tech was more geared towards 30 to 40 age group, and low-tech was 50 plus. The high-tech, like how she said, was is more computer literate, so we would be focusing on social media. And low-tech would be people who prefer print versus
versus online publication. Also religious groups, because of the feature stories that we were writing, we wanted to hit home to people who just believe like in the meaning of Christmas and Easter. So we kind of just wanted to touch them in that way. So our strategies, tactics, and tools, we divided up our strategies into two. So one was local newspapers and local magazines. What we did for the newspaper is we devised 2 print media campaigns for Christmas and Easter. And in those campaigns we had 1 media alert, feature stories for each, a news release, calendar of events. We included the testimonials. And for the local magazines, we developed 2 feature stories, just general ones on FIES, and just focusing on a specific client of theirs. And for campaign outcomes, we just basically were able to do what she wanted with print. We were able to do the local newspaper and magazine campaigns. We completed those. We were able to satisfy the low-tech audience versus the high-tech because we focused on print and we couldn't get the social media going. We also did the Christmas and Easter campaigns, which I just said included the media alert, news releases, and the 2 client feature stories. The social media objectives did fall through, like Alexa said. We tried to get that going, but just the communication, and she referred us to somebody who handled their Facebook. We had a hard time getting a hold of her.
She like pushed the responsibility to another person and then kind of made it their problem, and she didn't really want to deal with it. And when I spoke with her on the phone, she was kind of she sounded a little bit annoyed, so that was something we dealt with.
But we tried to get that going, and like we said, so when they carry over to the next semester, they can definitely get that going and hopefully build that up, since that wasn't something that we could do, that we wanted to do for them.
Well, the budget, there's supposed to be some bullet points. It's a non-profit, so they really don't have that much money to splurge. And they pretty much base everything off volunteers, so that way people can help out, and that's what helps them grow.
And the methods of evaluation, because everything was print-oriented, we didn't have like Facebook likes or anything to measure in that way. I kind of said earlier that everything would be based on quality. They have all the tools to generate awareness, which was our main goal. So at this point, it's kind of up to them to utilize those tools and to move forward with in the spring or Easter and Christmas when they go forth with their campaign.
And, we definitely set like a strong foundation for them to start.